I am having the hardest time accepting. No, I know. It's like actually insane. No, this is her like 23 out of 24 hours a day. Watch, it's like as dry as the Sahara Desert. Hold on. No, complete like sandpaper. Okay, I'm having the hardest time accepting the fact that I am single and I have to go out. Okay, I have to leave my house. I have to get up off the couch. I have to like put effort into my appearance for like at least marginally, okay? To meet somebody to sit on my couch with. Like, that's crazy. I was literally just talking to my friend about this because we were both like, we love rotting. There is truly no bigger grievance for me when it comes to being single than like, I just want someone to do nothing with. We literally can rot on the couch together. We don't even have to talk, okay? I just want a breathing body next to me, okay? But like, I have to go out to find someone to stay in with.
Girls always say, I want a rich man, I want a rich man. You don't want a rich man, babe. You want a generous one. You could be rubbing their last 2 pennies together, but if they love you, they will be so generous. They'll give you everything you want. Because being rich does not mean you like to spend your money. Income doesn't matter. A man does not need to be rich to buy you everything you want, take you to nice restaurants, take you on nice vacations. And if they have a big income, I guess that's even better, because if they're generous, they're going to use that big income to spend on you.
No, they said what they meant. They want a rich man, a man that spends all their money on them. And they're thinking, rather stupidly, that because that man has money, then he's just going to blow it all on them because they're queens, they're prince. They're queens, they're princesses, and they deserve it. Hadn't done nothing, hadn't worked nowhere, hadn't provided anything of any substance or value to anybody, but yet they deserve it.
I feel like girls always want to date a provider man or a man with a provider mindset until they realize what it actually entails, okay? So I'm on a trip to Japan right now. This was supposed to be a trip that we were going to do together, but he ended up getting stuck on another work trip, so he couldn't make it. So then he ended up flying out one of my friends to accompany me for like half the trip. But then now, because my friend also, like, she's got a job, she's got shit to do, she couldn't hang out with me the entire trip. So then she went home, and so now I'm alone. And yeah, like, isn't it so amazing to be alone in Japan? Went here on a business class flight that my man's paid for, went around on an Uber today that my man's paid for. But if you are a clingy girl, or if you are like a little needy, or I don't know, like just how girls can be in general, it is super normal to end up missing your mans or just want that quality time with him. And so there are times that it does get quite lonely, and I feel like if you aren't built for that or prepared mentally to end up spending a lot of time alone because your provider man is indeed working to provide, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. And I'm not saying I'm not grateful, I'm not saying I'm not happy. I just feel like sometimes girls aren't prepared for the amount of alone time that comes with it. So if you want a provider man, what is he gonna be busy with? Working to provide.
These modern women know what the man's going to be doing. They don't want the man around. They just want what he can give them. That would be money or anything else that would bolster their position in life. So it is your attractiveness, if it's that, if it's your looks, if it's your social network, or whatever you have. Money, it doesn't just stop there. Whatever you as the man can provide to me without me providing anything in return, that's what I'm going to take.
He's gonna be busy.
I love a provider. I really do. It goes beyond financial. Financial is definitely a piece because we love a financial provider too. Okay, it's nice. But when I say provider, for me, I mean somebody that provides solutions. I cannot stand a that's crazy type of friend, type of person, type of just anything. I do not like that type of energy. If you can provide a solution for me, or you could provide options for me to like get out of a situation that I'm in, or help me out with something, like that is so attractive to me. That is so
Told you.
to me. I instantly kind of get turned off if somebody's just like, that's crazy, like, oh, you'll figure it out. I'm like, I know, but I asked you, or I told you what I was going through for a potential solution. Like, I'm naturally the type of person that I don't vent to a lot of people. My circle is very, very small, and I value the people that I talk to. I don't share all of my business with everybody. I don't talk to everybody about what I'm going through, what's happening in my life. I just don't.
Okay.
I'm very private when it comes to my world, my space, and my safe space. So if I do happen to talk to you and tell you what's going on with me, baby, I need a solution. Or I'm going to tell you if I just need to vent. But 9 times out of 10, I'm like, give me the solution. We love a provider.
What you should do if you're successful yourself but still want to provide their man. First of all, girl, I feel you. Like, I'm an entrepreneur myself, I earn like 6 figures a year whilst being an immigrant in Europe at 26 years old. But at the same time, due to my culture and my personal preferences, I want a successful man as well, who will spoil me, who will care about me, so I can be doing huge amount of money, but still not worrying about a thing when I'm with him. Like, I want to work, but I want to know that I have an opportunity not to work if I want to. Do you understand me here? I hope you understand me here. So I guess first of all, we should delete provider man term, because for you, he's not a provider. You don't need man to provide for you. I can't believe that I'm saying that.
Financially.
You choose him not because he has money and it's your only option to be alive, but because you appreciate man who has the same qualities as you: being ambitious, being smart, being brave, being successful. You choose him not for money, you choose him for qualities and for him being able to have the same lifestyle as you have. So girl, you're not searching for a provider man. You search for equal here who will treat you in a particular way. And that's totally different thing.
That's not going to work though, because a man is not looking for that. A man is looking for a woman in general. Most men are looking for women that are feminine, women that know how to act like a lady. You want a man that is ambitious. He's a provider, maybe not necessarily has money, but you want a man to be out there going hard. That man, when he wakes up from the time that he lays his head on the pillow at night, I want that man hustling. A man does not want that from his woman. Most men don't. I'm okay if you do that. I'm fine if you do that. But my top priority is for you to be feminine. My top priority is for you to know how to understand and support me in the things that I'm doing. Obviously, and then of course, I'm going to be doing the same thing for you. But as a man, that's what I'm looking for.
Because the dynamic of your relationship, it will be so different from the girls who do not have money. Because I swear, the amount of compromises they need to go through to be with this man, you as a successful woman, you could never. So first of all, you need to find a man out of your society who answers all the criteria. And because you're successful yourself, it's not that hard. You're always around these men. You should be just like for a second in your feminine energies. Never forget that. Even if you're successful, be in your feminine energies. And then it's a question of communication. And also the ability of not being a leader in a relationship. Like, if you want a man who is even more successful than you should give up the position of a leader. You should learn how to admit when you are not true. You should learn how to be in a second place. You should learn how to let him lead. And that's the problem. That's what's hard for you as a successful woman. You should learn how to be weak next to him. Like, comparing to all other men, you will be like the strongest. But comparing to this man, you will be weak, and you need to accept it if he is more successful than you. And then it's a question of communication and being able to admit, I want this thing, it would make me so much happy, I want it to be like that, gosh, please, if you love me, I really would like this relationship to be built like that. Like, you should just share your sincere emotions, not trying to coach him, not trying to program him. Do it with your workers, for God's sake. With him, you should be speaking on a language of emotions, because that's how women speaks to men. Here are my emotions. I know you're not used to do this, because in your career and your business, it's not like that. But the moment you will be able to do so, to tell him, I want these flowers because it makes me so much happy and like so excited, please, one day can you give me those? The day you can say it sincerely like that, you won. So yeah, girls, if you're successful, you already won. You will find this guy easily, and then you just need to admit that you are ready to have a man who is more successful than you next to yourself. Cheers, what do you think? I want provider man and I'm feminist. You know, I quite often talk that I would like to have a man who is more financially responsible in our family, who pays for dates, who pays for rent, etc. Like, ideally for my future serious relationship, I see it like that. And you know, sometimes there are girls in comments who are like, it's 2024. It's feminism here, Sasha. You want money, you should go work. And I mean, I work, I'm an entrepreneur, I have 2 online projects since 4 years. But what upsets me in this, that for me it's not feminism. Like, I do not agree, it's not feminism. It's again somebody putting woman in a box, not letting her decide what to do with her body and her life. Because I don't know, 60 years ago, they said you should be at home, stay at home mom, just raise some children and cook some dinner, putting in a box. And now in 2024, it's like, what kind of 50-50? You pay for yourself, you go for work, you be strong. What if I don't want to? When will be the time in our history when a woman can decide for herself how she wants to live this life? Because I talked with one very feminist girl here in France. She's kind of like very into community, and she totally understood me, and she told me that modern feminism does not tell that woman should work 100% or woman should be 50-50 on the first date with men 100%. Modern feminism says that woman should decide for herself what she wants. So I decide for myself, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to earn money because I love it and I enjoy it, but I want a man who pays the rent and who is kind of having provider energy, but still wants to be a partner with me. Why I want it? Because I saw it in my family. My mother and father, both entrepreneurs. My mother, super successful, amazing woman, she had a business. My father too, but father business, it was sometimes somehow like bigger. So he was more of a provider of the family, but they were partners and they were equal. And that's what I want for myself, and I find it amazing. So why not? And what do you think, girls? What's feminism for you? Do you think a woman should decide for herself in 2024? And if it's feminism, if she wants provider man?
Yeah, I think I would like to know if your parents built that by themselves or together. That's what I would like to know. Were they somebody that met and then they got rolling together and they built that empire together? That's something that I would like to know. I also would like modern women to understand that I really do get it. I really do get it. Modern feminism is not, hey, you got to go 100% pay for yourself, or it's 50-50, you have to split with a man. It's whatever I decide. Unfortunately for you, in a relationship, you have 2 people, okay? So with that being said, because the man is the leader in the relationship, he's going to be setting the tone. And because he's setting the tone, you're probably going to be in a support role. And because you're in a support role, you're probably going to be following what he's doing, what he says. At the end of the day, he's probably going to need to be listening to you, taking seriously everything that you say into consideration, because nobody wants a jerk, nobody wants a dictator, obviously. But at the end of the day, all of this feminism stuff's going to go out the window. You don't need to be worried about, I get to decide this and I get to decide that, because when you get in a relationship, y'all are both deciding. So it's no more I, it's us. What do we want to do? And you're going to have to take that feminism and put it off to the side, because guess what? Your relationship comes first. And unfortunately, most modern women don't get that. They think that they can be strong, independent, and a boss babe and walk around here with their chest out and their nose up in the air, thinking that they're better than somebody, until they find the man that they really, really like. And then their nose is still up in the air, really, but they kind of like hide it a little bit with their hand. No, I can still see your nose is up in the air and you think that you're better than anybody. But let me tell you what, because I'm a high value man too, I'm a man that you really, really like, and I can see that, you about to get played. You about to get played. And they don't understand that until it's too late. And then they're screaming and hollering, men are trash. But no, it's just karma in a lot of these situations that's coming back to bite you in the behind, because you acted like you didn't have any common sense. So there's a lot of stuff in there that you were saying that sounded good, but you teetering real bad on being by yourself.
Hold on, but you're mad at me because you text me all day talking about what are you doing, what are you doing, what are you doing, I want to hang out with you. And then the minute that I'm telling you what I'm doing, oh, I'm getting my nails done, or I'm gonna have a self-care.
The answer is no. Right off the bat, I think I see where you're going with this. The answer is no.
Day, I'm gonna go get a massage. You're like, oh, okay, well, hit me up after. The fuck, not hitting you up after, because not one time did you offer, oh, how much are your nails, or oh, let me put 40 on your massage, or here goes a little money towards your nails or something. Just something that you're putting in effort, like to show, okay, she's doing self-care day. I can't even talk because I'm like so passionate about this. You can't even like, put in a little bit of
Passionately stupid. You're passionately stupid about this.
like, oh, here's a little bit of your money because I know you're ripping and running around. Like, that's gonna show me like, oh, he actually cares. He's actually considerate. He's actually generous. It's not about having a lot of money. It's about being generous with your money. Yeah, that way.
If you want to date up, get used to these things. This is just the truth. A man will cash you out and ghost you. Him cashing you out is a way to get rid of you. Do not argue with this man. Do not text him a million times. Just let it go. The last thing you want to do is ruin your relationship, because once you start meeting and dating elite men, they all click together, and you don't want a man to go and slander your name by saying, oh, she's ghetto, oh, she's loud, oh, she cussed me out, oh, she did this. Learn how to leave relationships with grace. Another thing, get used to them whipping out that stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It is very, very normal for them to pull that out, so just get used to it. If they ask you, do you party? Simply say, no, I don't. Because ladies, you want to be sober. You want to keep your mind as clear as possible. This is why you want to stay away from doing with men. Let them do it. The sober you are, the less chances you have of someone taking advantage of you.
So hang around criminals, known criminals, because they have money. I keep on telling these women this. Aside from that, I've been saying this in some of my videos. These men know what you're up to. And if they don't, they have a friend that knows what you're up to. These men be running in the same circles. And even if they don't, somehow, some way, the information gets back to them. We don't need though, are we dating the same man? That's y'all wasting time getting on social media because that's what y'all want to do. Go ahead. A man might see a video somewhere on TikTok or Instagram, pop up on the video. Hey, bro, I know that person. She's from da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. DM me. They have a conversation. Hey, bro, good looking out. And that's the end of it. Y'all will never even know the network existed because people ain't out in the open. These men ain't out in the open telling all their business. But you are. Showing men what they should and should not avoid, what they can and cannot do, because you're so bad at what it is that you do out here in the dating game. Yeah, these men checking for you. They already know what you're up to, and they're avoiding it and telling their friends to avoid it, and even their little dogs. Avoid her and bark at her when you see her. Let me know she's on the way so I can get up out of Dodge.
Every time I get ready on TikTok Live, I get asked the same questions. So I decided today I'm going to get ready and answer those questions here. So my most common question is, how do I meet a provider man? Where do I find them? Where do I go? And here's the thing, there is no magic website, magic restaurant, magic bar, magic location where you're going to meet a guy who is generous and loving and values you. The reason for this is because it doesn't matter where you go, it matters who you are. And that's gonna define not only who you attract, but how they treat you. People wanna know how I met my husband, and here's the thing. The Mark you see today is not the Mark that I met 6.5 years ago. In the course of this relationship, we've both gotten older, wiser, better looking, and we've grown in a positive way from the relationship we've had. And when you see my husband and you're like, where can I find one? I didn't even find one. I did not find my husband as he is today 6.5 years ago. When women ask me where my husband and I met and I tell them the website, they think I'm telling them, go to that website. There's a whole line of men exactly like my husband waiting for you to make an account. And here's the thing, that's not the case. It's like thrifting, right? If you like the shirt that I'm wearing and you're like, where'd you get it? And I'm like, the Goodwill on 88th Street. You're not gonna go to Goodwill on 88th Street and find the same shirt. Like, do you get what I'm saying? People are different. There's all types of different personalities. There's all types of different people in different places. And even the same person will treat two different women completely differently based on how they allow themselves to be treated and who they are at the time. So my best piece of advice to women who are looking for a guy, their dream guy, is to actually stop looking for that guy. Stop hunting for the man. Stop putting the goal outside of yourself and start embodying all of the qualities that your dream man's woman has, right? So this means when you're ready, when you're going to meet this man of your dreams, you're going to radiate so much confidence, so much energy, such radiance, because you're so sure of yourself. You've built yourself to a point where your self-esteem, your self-view, you're so radiant and so attractive that the men who are not in your league won't bother, or they'll quickly understand that you're not gonna tolerate their, or when your dream man stumbles upon you, he's going to be blown away and think, okay, I have to have her. And that could be in a coffee shop, a bookstore, online, a bar, a restaurant. It's going to happen when you give that magnetism out into the universe, and what's meant for you will come to you. If you're not ready to be that dream man's woman, best believe you're going to keep getting played, and you're going to keep getting these lessons, because the universe is trying to tell you, stop going on dates. It's time to go inward. It's time to become the best version of yourself so that you genuinely are the prize. When I met my husband, I felt 100% like the guy I end up dating is going to be so lucky. Everything worked out as it was meant to. You know what I mean? Anyway, embodying the energy of that dream guy's woman, whatever that means to you is what you have to do. It's not going to be the same for everyone, but your intuition will guide you to knowing what you need to do. Whether it means starting up that business that you've been dragging your feet on, going to the gym more often, just joining a physical activity, even if it's not the gym. It could be yoga, it could be dance, it could be pole dancing lessons, something that gets you moving and makes you feel confident and releases endorphins. But yes, I hope this helps. This video is a lot longer than I meant it to be, and now I have to actually go finish my makeup.
She said a couple things. She said a couple things that were kind of sketchy there, but in general, I do agree with what she's talking about. You don't necessarily have to ignore a man, but you definitely need to work on yourself. And modern women really, really, really need to hear this lesson. They really, really need to hear what she just said. Oh, I'm going to go to this website. Oh, she found her husband on Hinge. I'm going to go. That's not the way it works. Even if you're going to go to Hinge, you still have to do the work. You still have to vet this guy. Hey, what do you like to do? Where do you like to go? You are trying to build both yourself and him, and vice versa. Y'all are going to be working on each other, with each other, together. You helping sharpen him, you helping do and support the things that he's got going on, and vice versa. That's how it works. But unfortunately, a lot of modern women won't hear this because all they're focused on doing is receiving, quote unquote. Even though this is, in general, this is great advice, they don't care about that because they're just trying to receive and be in their quote unquote princess era.
Bye.
So I was at dinner last night with a bunch of editors, and I sat at a table where it was exclusively women of color. And of course, one of the conversations that came up was dating, right? Now, all the women, myself included, we're all in our 30s. And the main point of contention that we had is that living in New York, New Jersey, one of them I think lived in Philly, but living in this tri-state metropolitan area, none of us know where to go to meet men. Oh, for context, everyone was straight at the table. So I started thinking, because I did my little TikTok research and I Googled where to go to find men, and I couldn't find anyone who looked like me, giving lists of where to go, recommendations of what to do in order to meet attractive, successful men who are in their 30s and older. So, because what are they?
This is something that the lady literally just covered in the last clip. They're not going to really be anywhere certain. It's like they're going hunting for a certain Pokemon and they're going to find them in a certain area. No, these Pokemon quote unquote, to use the example, they're going to be in different areas. They're going to be common. They're going to look common, like you walk up on a Pidgey or something like that. They're just going to be out there, millions of them, and you're not going to be able to get away from them. But because you don't understand, you don't see the potential, then you're going to leave them alone. You have to understand, hey, this man's going to work with me, so I have to work with this man and help him to what? Evolve. He's going to have to evolve, and he's going to do it with me. I'm going to pour into him just like I expect him to pour into me, and he is going to grow. He's going to evolve, and I'm going to teach him new things. He's going to learn new things, and there's a lot of behaviors and things that he used to come with, he's going to forget. And I'm going to say, hey, if you need a little nudge, why don't you forget that? You don't need that move anymore. Why don't you put this down? Why don't you let this go? Hey, I'm on your side. And that man is going to put that down and replace that with something better, with something stronger, with the behavior that makes both of you more successful. But modern women don't understand that because they're not looking to build a man. They're looking to get a man to build them and whatever they got going on. That's why you have some women out here, as stupid as it may seem, taking the man's money and stashing it for themselves instead of taking it and putting it to the side for both of them, putting it to the side for the college fund, putting it aside for, hey, I think I'm going to go to school or a program, a boot camp to learn a skill so I can sit up here at home, take care of the house, and then I can make money and bring money in for the both of us. Not doing too much, just something a little light, but they don't do that. It's always take for themselves.
Say it's called roster season or something because the winter time is slowly coming, and I've been seeing people talking about more and more wanting to get into relationships, wanting to lock down a little situation for the fall/winter. I decided that these next few weeks of summer / early weeks of fall, I am going to put on my investigator hat and dig into the research and share with you all my findings of the best place to go to meet attractive, successful Black people, men and women, because I think maybe the problem is we all don't know where to meet each other outside of parties. So I'm going to go to different places. I'm going to try some coffee shops, maybe some regular bars, some events, and I'm going to report back and I'm going to share with the class, because at the end of the day, I want my people, I want y'all to fall in love. And if I got to step in and facilitate that for you, that's just what I'm going to do, because that is what I've been tasked to do on this earth. And also, I'm just really nosy and curious. So yeah, stay tuned. If you have recommendations of places I should go, shoot me a message, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna just go out and explore the city, and I'll share with what I find with you all. So yeah, I'm excited for this.
Okay, on a serious note, where do like the 28-year-old single men hang out at? Because like
28 to like 30.
You're so right. We're bopping around the West Village, and I'm looking. I'm looking.
Eyes are peeled.
But I'm not finding them. So if
They're bopping away from you. Leave them alone.
you're 28 and single,
We live in New York. It shouldn't be that hard to find.
Where to meet billionaires out in New York. Billionaires with a B.
Now let me school you on why you don't want to meet billionaires with a B in those places or anywhere else. First of all, every place you named is crawling with ladies of the night, if you know what I mean. Working girls, you are not the only one that knows that those places are where the billionaires hang out. Secondly, I never wanted a billionaire. A billionaire is just a level of wealth that I don't want. I don't want Jeffrey Bezos rich. You want to know why? Things are just too accessible for a man with that kind of money. I don't need everything to be that accessible to him. I need a man that has access to the things and lifestyle I want, but not unlimited lifestyle. Because I don't want anybody to have that much access to anything. Stay toxic, my friends.
Where to meet billionaires out in New York, billionaires with a B.
No hate to this creator, but any seasoned New Yorker would not agree with anything that was said in the video. The fact that we're putting these types of men on a pedestal is actually a huge red flag. And might I mention, some of the men that you were talking about, my cousin is 10 years older than me, dated one of those guys 10 years ago. I dated the guy 5 years ago. You see the pattern? The guys stay the same, and they...
So you both dated the same guy? Maybe something's wrong with you. You're about to try to dump on the man, but you dated the same guy that your cousin dated. Come on, guys.
Cycle through women as they come into the city in droves.
And you allow it
the
to
only
happen.
thing changing are the women's age, okay? And might I mention, they're still single after all these years. Decades. Simple math. They know exactly...
And what about you?
Exactly what they're doing. You're gonna go to these places looking for these men, which they will be there, but they will never take you seriously. That's not what they're there to do. They've been playing this game before you were born, to be quite honest. And after you've been here for a number of years, you start being less impressed by that, and also it's a little embarrassing, no? Peter Pan syndrome. I don't care how much money you have. It's not going to be worth it if they don't respect you at the end of the day. Hanging out with billionaires with B's is so overrated. The people that have that much money are so boring, and you couldn't pay me to hang out with them in present day. The fact that was even named on this list gives me so much secondhand embarrassment. I mean, it's not 2014, first of all. Even then.
That's incredible, man. You can't pay them to hang out with somebody that has money or somebody that doesn't have money. I mean, the men that have money, that are billionaires, they're boring. But the men that don't have any money, they're boring. The nice guys are boring. I mean, who can compete? Who can reach the level of your greatness, your majesty?
And it was bad. Now, I just can't believe people are still hanging out with him and bragging about it. But what do I know? And also, no hate. I'm just trying to say, videos like this, they're toxic. It doesn't make any sense. You think you're getting somewhere with that, but really, you're never going to be taken seriously. You're being used and abused, and then you're just putting this information out for more women to be in the cycle. Enough. If you like that, go for it, but where is that getting you? Are you dating these people? Longevity? Marriage? Or are you just their weekend thing? Which, no hate, that's fine. But what are you getting out of this? And then bragging about it online, it's just not the vibe you think it is. Signed a former club girl.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said this. You just embarrassed yourself. You said that you were so thirsty at that point in time that you decided, hey, I'm going to take my cousin's sloppy seconds. And I find out, like men keep telling us, the Chad, the Tyrone, they going to come into the city in droves, take you out of it and put you in it. Take you out the street for a little while, put you back in the street. Okay, I'm done. And the more and more you do this, the less and less men want you, the less integrity that you have. But you don't care because you're living a life. The only difference is you got tired of these men discarding you. It's not that you've grown yourself. It's not that you have any type of integrity yourself. It's just that you got tired of losing and being beat at your own game. And so now you're out here trying to quote unquote warn other women about what they do. No, these women know what they do. That's where they're trying to get over on them. They know, hey, if I can find a man that he's going to give me money, I'm going to try to get that $500 real fast and I'll never see him again. They're not worried about the long game. They're worried about the short time, the short-term fun. That's what they're worried about. And when they get kicked to the curb, they're going to try to find another man. Hey, they're not looking at me. Let me go get a couple of surgeries, see if I can change my look, enhance myself, and go right back out there and do the same thing again. Because I want these men to pay for me. I don't want to do anything of value. I don't want to do anything of substance. I just want to hang around billionaires, get money, and go home. So you talking about, I used to be this and I used to do that. With your one experience, you did it and you got played, and now you're mad, and now you're trying to expose them for quote unquote boring. It's never going to work. There's plenty of modern women out there, unfortunately, they're going to continue to fall into this trap because that's where they want to be, trapped. And then after so many years, they're going to talk about, I hate men. Men are terrible. They just don't make them like they used to anymore. I'm looking for a provider man. I'm looking for a rich man that's willing to settle down and focus on me and only me. I'm a God-fearing woman that loves God, loves Jesus, and I want to have all his babies and and all that other nonsense. You should have thought about that before you decided to take your silly behind out there and waste people's time and waste people's money. You should have been looking for a husband that was a provider. Maybe he didn't have the same amount of money or income that this guy had, but he was willing to buy you anything to take care of you. But you didn't want that. You said he was broke and he was a bum. And now look at you on the internet looking crazy because the man did what he was supposed to do, and that was play you and send you on back to the street where you belong, where you came from. That's unfortunate, but that's also my opinion. Until the next video, I'm out.